Welcome to the 2034th regular meeting of Livonia City Council. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by the Honorable Eileen McDonnell.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is a voting meeting. Minutes of this meeting will be approved at the next regular meeting scheduled to be held on Monday, February 23rd, 2026. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Councilmember McDonnell?
Here.
Councilmember Budzinski?
Here.
Councilmember Persicone?
Here.
Councilmember Tashnik?
Here.
Vice President Brockway?
Here.
Councilmember McCullough?
Here.
President Reed?
Here. And we have 7 members present. Real quick, before we get started, I just want to point out we have printed off a QR code, and it's back at the sign-in table and also in the hallway if you want a direct link to our agenda packet items. There's stuff that's not, we don't print out for you, that's available online. And that's obviously just for the people in the audience. All right, at this time, I will entertain a motion for the minutes from the regular meeting of the City Council held on January 26, 2026. Do I have a motion?
Support.
Motion by Budzinski, support by Brockway. Any comments from council? Anything from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the roll. Oh, was someone getting up?
I saw a hand back there.
Did someone from the audience have a comment? No? Okay. Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McDonnell?
Yes.
Councilmember Budzinski?
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone?
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik?
Aye.
Vice President Brockway?
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough?
Aye.
President Reed?
Aye. And the minutes are approved 7-0. All right, we'll move on to audience communication. The council has set aside 30 minutes for audience communication for items not on the agenda. You will have 3 minutes. Ms. Tashnik will be taking the time on her clock. We do not respond to each comment. We may respond during council comments after the 30 minutes is up. We will have additional audience communication at the end of the regular agenda. You are allowed to speak at either the first audience communication or the second, not both. Please state your name and address before you begin speaking. 7:32 will be the end time.
My name is Susan Chewy, and I decline to give my address. I come here as a concerned citizen. After listening to people who came to the last meeting, I feel compelled to respond to them. Regarding deporting illegals, where was your outrage when Obama followed federal law and used ICE agents to deport 3 million illegals, more than any other president? Your outrage is clearly based on hatred of Trump, not law or logic or compassion. Do not fall prey to the anarchistic, divisive, insurrectionist rhetoric of politicians like Tlaib. Examine your hearts and motivation. Yes, Tlaib, my father was an immigrant too. He was a legal immigrant, took no government handouts, worked hard, never broke the law, learned English, assimilated, and died loving this country. I am grateful to DHS for rescuing 150,000 children from sex trafficking in the hands of the cartels. My compassion is for them, not the illegal cartels trafficking them. I am grateful for the removal of violent illegal criminals that can no longer hurt us United States citizens. Do not let our city erupt into chaos caused by violent protesters impeding ICE and law enforcement like in Minneapolis. I ask our mayor and city council to support federal law by supporting our police in handling illegal aliens over to ICE. Assist them in protecting ICE agents. I'm sure I'm not the only one in Livonia that feels this way. God bless ICE, DHS, and our police department. And Lord, open the eyes of the blind in our community and make them cognizant of what their true motivations are. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please hold your applause. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Paul Pearson, 33506 Nancy, Livonia, Michigan, longtime resident. My have more of a question, and it's very similar to the person that was up here before me. I saw just bits and pieces of Rashida Tlaib when she was in here, and I didn't get the whole story, but from what I understand, she was concerned about the way the Livonia Police Department might have been handling certain things and pertaining to reporting to ICE. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. That's why I'm here. But I'm concerned. What concerned me is I heard that Mayor Brosnan was going to look into it, and I'm just curious. Has there been any further investigation into that? Is it open for her to make changes, or has there been changes? That's basically a question.
We will respond during council communication if we choose to.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
Council.
Name and address for the record, please.
Gee whiz. Theo Gamoka. This is the city. I live here. I don't carry a badge. I saw a few of these meetings, full of coffee, so I'll talk fast. Saw the mayor's man here, saw a few of you. Seemed pretty slick, but I think it's pretty clear where you're coming from. I remember the 67 riots, LA riots, 1992. We'll get to the 2020 riots. When I was 16, 18, I was running the streets nearby here with a lot of other poorly educated delinquents. Groupthink, bashing America was easy, and it was popular. Yeah, we bashed cops too, and they weren't fond of us, and it was for good reason, because we were up to no good. Ask us, it was because we dressed like bums, had too much hair, profiled, right? But we never once got rousted without a good reason. Junkie put a Saturday night special up in my grill one night. Got my saxophone, a very special instrument, woke me up. I forgive the dude, because he also took my naivete. Now I know a shakedown when I see it, and I see a big one. Being set upon by your worldview can change your view of the police. After I got hit with that stick-up, God sent me a godly woman, made her my wife. But she put the final torque on my head bolts. Moved out here 35 years ago, needed police from the get-go. Several occasions, prowlers, car theft, fleeing felons running in our yard. Law enforcement's a blessing. Read Romans chapter 13. They all pledged allegiance to the U.S. flag up here, and I hope we can take them at their word. But I wonder, because a couple other things happened out here. The people behind that dais and old Mayor Bennett, right after I moved here, they raised the flag of the godless United Nations above this building. My wife was here protesting. I would have been, but I was working. 2020 riots. They put up that billboard, Livonia cops going to beat you up. Mayor, some of her people, some of yous maybe, were out here saying, well, we need some dialogue with these people. This, let's have a reasonable dialogue. I don't buy it. Our daughter's car got totaled by an illegal. First words out the driver's mouth, no policia, mi dispiace. Daughter's okay, a little beat up, no car, but we all been hurt by the left's refusal to support law enforcement. Being T-boned by your worldview can change your view of law enforcement. You Marxists out there, go back to Germany, your Marxist homeland. Good luck, try immigrating to any country. Mass migration is a shakedown, not just America, but the Christian West by godless communists. What happened in Russia will come to America. Russian priests told me that.
That's time, sir.
Gulag
Thank you.
Archipelago, read it.
That's time, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, I'm Mike Martin from 34190 Trillium. First, I want to thank the Livonia community in general. I'm out with an American flag and a No King sign every Saturday from 1 to 3, and I intend to be until the major March 28th No Kings rally. Unlike the time I spend on social media, where I'm surrounded by bots and algorithms that make me feel like I'm marinating in anger, the experiences when I'm out in 5 and Farmington are cathartic and reinforced what I'm biased to believe, which people, even when they don't agree with me on everything, are generally good. I feel that with the thousands of thumbs ups and waves that I get. I don't even mind the dozen times it's a different finger. I'm glad I live in a country where we still have freedom of speech even when we disagree. Before I go out at 1 p.m. to 5 in Farmington on Saturday, I plan to be at a table outside of the Livonia Library from 12 to 12:30 if anyone wants to talk. Having done data analysis as an engineer for over 30 years, I see modifying my views when new data appears to be a strength, not a weakness. And I hope I'm just being paranoid about the trends I perceive. I believe that we are all better off by talking to each other in person, not at each other in bots online. I'm certain the vast majority of people find it self-evident that all people have inalienable rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. We know we don't want unlimited executive power or authoritarianism, and we want to secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity. I'm worried that people won't get the great formative experience I was able to get with the bicentennial in 1976. We should be psyched for 250 years of America rejecting kings and dictators, a bulwark against authoritarianism and a symbol of freedom in the world. We've taken a misstep, but the most important step we ever take is the next one, because it's the only one that we immediately control. For me, that means I'm out there with a sign and a flag and another Costco shipment of 1,000 flags. I will never take a penny from anyone. I'll never be in politics, and I have no belief I will create major change from what I'm doing. What I'm doing is using my two strengths. I'm loud and I'm friendly. And while I will fall incredibly short of this goal, I want to channel the tiniest part of what Mr. Rogers or John McCain would do if they're still here. For this group, I would love Livonia to have signs and slogans up for the 250th. Livonia celebrates the USA rejecting kings and dictators for 250 years, or something along those lines. Right now, we're having a very specific problem with ICE violating the rights of immigrants, though taking actions that make this look like America I don't recognize. But I hope we can take actions on both. And I want to thank everyone for their time, and I want everyone to understand the biggest lie that's out there is that we're each other's enemies. Half the people are not half the other people's enemies. The people that are here that disagree with my points of view are not my enemies. I love to talk to them in a peaceful way at the Livonia Library at 12 o'clock on any Saturday they want to. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Carla Truxell, 29583 Jacqueline Drive, Livonia. As always, I come here with positivity. It's that time of year where SPN Survivors, a nonprofit my husband and I started, we focus on mental health education and healthy coping skills, and movement is one of them. So we have our annual Move-In with Moose, which starts March 1st and goes to the 31st. We have our kickoff event happening again at Laurel Park Mall at the food court. And so we encourage those who participated before and those who haven't to join us and walk some laps inside the mall with us and practice healthy coping skills. And I also have Wayne County resource cards that I forgot to look when I came in, but I will be replenishing those. These are other organizations that do work to support those with our mental and emotional health, and our goal is for everybody to know these resources exist, so I will make those available as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Well, good evening. Christopher Martin, great state of Michigan. Talk about a little something here that you might be interested in, some of you. Currently, there's 8 cones possibly leaving this particular building tonight. You can drive by the front of that library over there. Some of you know where it's at. And 8 cones over there. The reason for that is because that slab that was put down out there has raised up 2 inches. Now, when this thing was first poured, it has to be about a year and a half ago, within the first couple of months, there was 4, if not 5, major cracks in the thing, and that were at least 2 feet long. There's no name stamped in it. I know Joe Rotundo stamps his name, and I know Sauve does also. Okay, I don't know if it's Leo or Mike who does it, but there's no name stamped in. Otherwise, I would know who it was. But whoever that is, and possibly Mark or Todd know who it is, I don't want that contractor anymore wasting my tax dollar and others on a really poor job. There was no expansion joints. The control joints were cut in. And was such a trip hazard when it first occurred over here that I told one of the guys, you got to put some cones out here. So that's how the 8 cones got out there, okay? Because we did have a book sale over the weekend. But that it was such a lousy job. It should have been pinned, okay, when it was poured into the existing surrounding. And there should have been expansion joints that were put in. They're only $5, piece about this long. And that might have taken care of that. But what you have right now is a real mess. And that's all going to have to be broken up surrounding that. And the guy has done nothing, whoever did that. It should be mentioned, okay, so we don't get that guy again. But whoever did that has made nothing over there but collected money from taxpayers with the authorization probably of the council. I don't know how that occurred, but it was just such a lousy job from the get-go. And so really don't need to have that individual back wasting taxpayers' money, creating a trip and fall hazard for old people. And that's about it. I'd like to see that resolved at some point because it's going to have to be torn up, all surrounding that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other audience communication? All right, we will move on to council comments. Councilwoman Tashnik?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to give a shout out to Carla Truxell, who's here with Moving with Moose. The past 2 years, I've actually captained the council team. So to the new council members, I know Mr. McCullough and Mrs. Patinski have been on the team with me the last 2 years, but you're going to be tapped to join us this year as well. So I'll send that out. I'll connect with Carla and we'll take care of that. But and we usually get other residents to join the council team as well. So feel free. I'll post that for everybody, and it's a great organization. They do a lot of really, really good work. You can get your steps in during the month. I think Mr. McCullough got a waiver that he could get his in on skates.
No, they didn't allow me to do that because, that is a lot easier. I think I was banned from doing it. But we did all right.
We did all right, yeah. No, the council team did pretty well. So anyway, we'll have that out, and I just wanted to give Carla a shout out for coming again, and we appreciate everything you do for the community and do for this. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Councilman Brockway?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Last meeting, we had a resident that was asking about snow being pushed into the driveway. I think we've all experienced that at one point or another. There's a question that was just brought up because there is equipment out there that, that some plows can lift up and then drop so it doesn't block your driveway. I did ask about that, so whomever had asked that question. Our contracted services operate the big equipment like the front bucket loaders and road graders, but that equipment does, we would have to pay an additional amount, somewhere north of like $6,000 for an attachment, so it's not really feasible because those contracted services only usually plow our side streets about 3 times a year on average. The city's trucks, the large dump trucks that they have that use the underbelly plow, you can't do an attachment like to that. So just to answer your question, yes, they do exist, but no, our city is really not going to be utilizing those at this time. Thank you.
Anything else from council? Ms. Bazinski, go ahead.
Thank you. A couple things. In terms of events, I have my monthly coffee hour this Saturday at the Civic Center Library at 11 o'clock. Come ask questions. I provide a council update, and there are loony donuts. Also this weekend, Kappa presents the SpongeBob SquarePants musical. So if you're looking to support community art, Kappa obviously is a premier program here in our community and the county. So it'll be a good show. I think I might be taking the boys for a date night. To address some of the resident concerns, our government affairs director is in the audience. So regarding the sidewalk at the library, we'll get an update on that. And then for the individual who had a question about the police statement, the Livonia Police Department did release a statement a few weeks ago. It's posted on Facebook, on their Facebook page, and on the city Facebook page if you're on social media. you can link to it directly from the Livonia Police Department website. Thank you.
Anything else? Councilman McCullough?
Thank you, Madam President. I'll start with the business side. I'm going to be asking for support from my colleagues. This would be directed to law to create an ordinance my wording is not going to be great on this, but to police 911 abuse for our firefighters. So long story short, if I may have
Support.
Thank you.
Motion? Yeah, it's just me saying, sorry.
That's the motion.
Motion
Carter,
by
you can make
McCullough.
it any which way, but
Support by Persicone.
so thank you. So I'm learning about our resources being spread out in a lot of different directions. This came from our fire department, meaning that if we do want to support more of our nursing homes and assisted living. However, there's been times where they call the ambulance anytime for anything, and we get called back. This is coming right from the fire department. And there are some resources out there, and it's actually led to ambulance not being ready for calls with residents and anything else. So this is fairly common around the area in Metro Detroit, and this is coming from our first responders. So I think it's something good to let. That's why I'm limited to you, because you are the law guy, and I figured you could make something very nice out of this. So, colleagues, that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully, I can get your support on that.
Yep. Mr. McCullough, were you referring it to committee or referring it to the actual law department?
Just law
for
to
ordinance?
create an
Okay.
ordinance.
I just want to make sure we have
Yep.
it right. Thanks.
And if I may, just so the public can know, is when we do this, if it does go through, then Carter and our law team will draft something, and then it will come back to us for review, and then we can beat it up. So there's some checks and balances.
Councilwoman Budzinski?
Yeah, just a question for curiosity's sake, through the chair to Mr. McCullough. Were you saying that other communities have ordinances to address this?
Yeah, yep. And I think it's just more as things are going with this, it's just there are some bad actors out there that just call nonstop, and it's hampering them. So if we could do something, and I know maybe even there's fees that are involved with it, but Carter's nodding, so I think he knows.
Yes, we've had some preliminary discussions with the fire department already on this topic. Other localities do charge a fee for some non-emergency uses and calls, and the fire department has seen an uptick in those where other places are trying to use sort of citywide resources for their own personal gain so that they don't have to increase staffing.
Thank you. Anything else? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McDonald?
Yes.
Councilmember Budzinski?
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone?
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik?
Aye.
Vice President Brockway?
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough?
Aye.
President Reed?
Aye. And that passes through 7-0.
I have 72 more items, if I may.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Please
No,
keep
that's
going.
it for the vote. I appreciate that, colleagues. I think that's going to be good to help our fire department out, and Carter's in his court now. Mr. Martin, I will tell you this as someone that hates frost right now hugely. So when you start seeing all of these flags of concrete, they're lifting, the roads are separating, and it's tough because you have trip hazards, right? Now, what you could do is grind it, which is fine. But what happens when the frost goes away? Now you have, cold patch that gets tossed on it. So what we've been doing, and we've had multiple locations, even a new building, basically a lot of the pieces, your first flag of concrete, and I call flag your sidewalk section, is attached to the foundation. So every building you see a lot of these things, you got one that's lower, everything else is up. They're like, what's this? Because that's tied into the foundation. So with this, tomorrow, believe it or not, is going to be 44 degrees, all right? So let's hope that this is something to come. But it's one of those games that if you go out, you grind everything down, now you've created a problem when the frost is gone. So the cones and everything, I hope that it's been a crazy winter. We've been under, I think, freezing for the last 30 days. So hopefully it takes care of itself. Now, I will finish with May 2nd. Everybody in this room already knows that the Livonia All-Stars are coming for the Detroit Red Wings alumni for the 5th year in a row. Contractually, we have to lose. So I'm trying to build up get you all pumped up to buy some tickets. But in any situation, it's a great time as always. We moved it to May because it wouldn't be negative 20 degrees out. So maybe we'll do some fun things with food trucks and some other stuff like that. But get your tickets. It's on Breaking Barriers website. The city, I know, will always have the ability to share that QR code. But it's a great time to meet some neighbors and watch us get beat up really bad. It's a lot of fun. So thank you.
Anything else from council? All right, we will move on to reports from the mayor and other city officials. We have received communication from the Department of Finance dated January 16, 2026, and this was forwarding the quarterly investment report for the city of Livonia for the quarter ending November 30th, 2025, and we have received and filed. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Items 1 through 14 on the consent agenda will be voted on as one item. These items were previously discussed at the study meeting that took place on January 26, 2026, and determined to be non-controversial. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Budzinski, support by McCullough. Anything from council? Anything from the audience? Name and address. You have 2 minutes.
Christopher Martin, Great State of Michigan. This is referencing number 3. This is the Livonia Board of Ethics. These are the ones that you go to first before going to the tax tribunal. Just a little bit of information to add to this. Spoke on this last council meeting. In 2018, in Lansing, every member of the House and every member of the Senate, which is very unusual, agreed that they needed education members, the 3 members of the Board of Review. And that was my own personal experience in looking at that, not only in the city, but other cities and townships, that that was definitely needed. You have to think also for an attorney, for a elected official to say you're doing a lousy job, okay, and that's within the House and the Senate. Every single one of them voted in favor of education for members of the Board of Review. It was that bad. Also, in going to the tax tribunal, which is the next step on the train, there were many people that came in and just handed the paperwork to the Board of Review, wouldn't even waste their time sitting and talking with them to explain to them why they felt their taxes were not correct on the assessed value of their home, whether they had owned it for a long period of time or had recently purchased it. So they knew that it was that bad. So they just gave them the paperwork, which is all that's required, and then they moved on to the tax tribunal. I had moved on to the tax tribunal at one particular time also. The thing that screwed me up was when I go in and talk with the referee, Kathy White from our law department was already there speaking with the referee. So I had no idea what she was saying to that referee. All I knew is I had no equal time. Okay.
Thank you, sir. That's time.
Okay.
Anything else from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McDonald?
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski?
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone?
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik?
Aye.
Vice President Brockway?
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough?
Aye.
President Reed?
Aye. And the consent agenda passes 7-0. All right, we will move on to unfinished business. Item number 15, this is a request to refer the subject matter of exterior lighting to the Law and Education Committee. This comes from Councilmember Brandon McCullough, and it is to discuss exterior illumination of lighting from businesses.
Thank you. So this item, well, I think. Yes.
Motion.
Can I have a motion from any of my supporters or
A
non-supporters?
motion to approve.
Support.
Motion from
Thank
Budzinski, support from Tashnik. Floor is yours.
Listen, I still forget the support thing, so you're doing good. Okay, so the gentleman, I think, is in the audience potentially that has been leading this charge for a few decades now. If we looked at the Livonia Observer. Common thing, I appreciate him for bringing this forward, and I know we've been looking at things, but with LEDs, as great as they are for saving energy and money, they can be super bright, and if they are not designed properly for the right application, can be very blinding. I'm sure everybody in here has seen the wrong application. So this would be us sitting down in a committee meeting that is, we'll get on the books pretty soon if this gets approved, to discuss and hopefully add some luminosity thresholds to different applications around the city.
Anything else from council? Anything from the audience? Name and address for the record. You have 2 minutes.
Jerry Kersinski, 19488 Bainbridge Avenue. Oh, yeah, I want to second Councilmember McCullough's plea for that. There's a urgent care that opened up on 7 Mile near my house. HMC Urgent Care at 30737 7 Mile that has very bright lights at night. I'm sure the ordinance department never sees it because they work 9 to 5, but when I come here for these meetings, I see it. So again, 30737 7 Mile. Thank you.
Thank you. Name and address for the record, please. You have 2 minutes.
Eric Fitzpatrick, Rosedale Gardens. Just want to kick this off with, I want to start out with the Plymouth Road streetlights. They do not comply at all with Livonia's policies. There's many homes adjacent to the Plymouth Road, those lights, and they're lit up like day, whether they like it or not. Another reason I'm thinking this may be a good thing to look at it, again, these are the only lights in Livonia, the street lights, that do not comply. And I think they've been there for 25 years. Everything else has been retrofitted, and those I feel should be looked at, especially if it's low-lying fruit. You know, it has to be done anyhow. Retrofit those, make them full cutoff and shielded. Stop having all those homes lit up like daylight. And yeah, and again, I would like to see the policy amended. As Mr. McCullough said, these LED lights, they are very bright, they use a lot of energy, and it just seems like there's a lot of opportunity in many business owners' eyes to say, hey, wow, I can really do some serious advertising here. And again, I'm just asking everybody here, please, review the policy, see what it says, and look around, especially at the gas stations, especially at the convenience stores. Notice the good ones versus the bad ones. They're not all bad. There's some players that are really good. Some are just awful and horrendous. And again, you go southeast of, south of Livonia, east of Livonia, you look around there and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't think anybody here, I think everybody wants to have Livonia, kind of a classy upper scale community. And bad, trashy lighting can really ruin its nighttime appearance. And again, look at some of the surrounding communities, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And again, please just be aware of the policy. When you're out at night, look around, and I think you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank you. Anything else from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McDonald?
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski?
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone?
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik?
Aye.
Vice President Brockway?
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough?
Aye.
President Reed?
Aye. And that passes 7-0. All right, we'll move on to new business. Item number 16. This is a request to adopt a resolution as requested by Wayne County for 2026 annual right-of-way permit. This comes from the Engineering Division, and it's enabling the Department of Public Works to do all things necessary to maintain the city's infrastructure within the county's right-of-way.
I'll offer an approving.
Support.
Anything from council? Did you want to say anything? No. Okay, anything from the audience? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McDonald?
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski?
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone?
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik?
Aye.
Vice President Brockway?
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough?
Aye.
President Reed?
Aye. And that passes 7-0. Item number 17, it's a request to schedule a closed committee of the whole meeting. This comes from the Department of Law. It's for the purpose of discussing pending litigation and attorney-client privileged communications with respect to Bernardo Wilson, Roderick Means, and Kathy Wade as co-personal representatives of the estate of L.V. Means, deceased, versus City of Livonia, from Wayne County Circuit Court case number 25-017576-NI.
Madam Chair, so moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilwoman Tashnik, support by Budzinski. Anything from council? Mr. Fisher, did you want to add anything?
No, I mean, as you know, per the Open Meetings Act, we're allowed to have closed meetings to discuss issues of strategy related to open cases. That's what we'd like to do.
Okay, thank you. Anything from the audience? All right, Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
Councilmember McDonald?
Aye.
Councilmember Budzinski?
Aye.
Councilmember Persicone?
Aye.
Councilmember Tashnik?
Aye.
Vice President Brockway?
Aye.
Councilmember McCullough?
Aye.
President Reed.
Aye. And that passes 7-0. All right, we have our second set of audience communication. If there's anyone that did not speak in our first audience communication, the floor is yours. Seeing no one, may I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
A motion by Tashnik, support by everyone. Okay, see you at 8 o'clock.